Hello everyone, Zebedee here, back again for another video. So I have found something out recently, and it is that, well, I haven't really found it out, like a ton of Thomas guys. Yeah, long story short, I want to make a review on season 6 of the Stories of Sodor. Now, if you somehow don't know what the Stories of Sodor is, this is a series created by Victor Tanzig, and it is one of the most popular Thomas fan series ever. It is, or should I say was, a mix of both Thomas and Tugs. It's really good. And the last episode of season 6 came out yesterday, I believe. And so I want to go through every single episode and ultimately determine, is this better than season 5? So the episode, let's jump straight into them. Recovery. This is one of the best episodes, honestly. The thing with Recovery is it deals with Percy's grief about Thomas's death. Even though Thomas isn't there, he sees him in his mind. Thomas meant a lot to Percy, and to deal with the fact that he is gone can leave a lot on you. But it just leaves more weight to it, and I think, you know what? This might be my favorite episode, solely because it deals with Percy's grief, and that's pretty awesome. The second episode, Informant. There isn't that much that happens in this episode other than an inspection is launched on the island. That is really all there is to say about Informant. Overall, I'm not the biggest fan of Informant. Here we go, leadership. In this episode, the Fat Controller decides to stop running the Northwestern Railway, and a new guy called Mr. Watson comes in and takes control. He is now the new controller of Sodor. Like the Northwestern Railway part at least. And, in the beginning, none of the engines likes him. He even asked Edward, have you ever considered about retiring? Because he just wants a diesel to come and replace Edward. But at the end, he was a good person. Episode 4, Troublemaker. I mean, where to begin? This, along with Recovery, is, once again, I find this one nice. Rosie and Dudley is a cool combination. The Berry Trucks version of this is, the best. And I just find Dudley to be an awesome creation in the Thomas fandom. When I think, Dudley is kind of evil. It was, he didn't mean for, Diesel to crash, but it was his fault for derailing Boko. And honestly, I think Edward put it there. A sad end to a bad engine after he died. Episode 5, Limits. Once again, a Daisy episode. This is cool. After Dudley's words of what he said to her, she has been a little, down on herself, and also because of the fact that she couldn't push Boko up the hill. She thinks she failed. And she keeps trying to do stuff that, a rail car isn't meant to do, and she just keeps screwing up. It isn't until the Queen comes that Daisy, she proves that she can do something. I think Brian was right. Let your limits become your strengths. Episode 6, Losses. This is a nice Stewart episode. He doesn't have many episodes in this series. So in this one, the Scholarly Railway is losing business due to the roads. And Laurie's Onslow, for an example, are taking over. Stuart is like very angry about this and think that, the railway will close. The engines say, no, it won't. This isn't the mid-Sodor. And also for the fact that Sir Handel Brown has died and Mr. Mannering is the new controller. Episode 7, Arsdale. In this episode, the Arsdale Railway is built on top of where the old mid-Sodor used to stand. In this episode, we have Rex, Mike, and Bert as the 3 miniature engines. Well, they go through a bit, I'll leave it at that. And there's also stuff going on with a cow that nearly gets killed, which is funny. Episode 8, Musician. Other than for a little goof in the intro, this is a really enjoyable episode. Apparently, there's this musician who is waiting for her husband. Waiting and waiting. But when the engines find out that this woman is dead, she's a spirit, waiting for her husband to come and find her. It's only until Mike says, hey mate, why don't you just go to heaven? No one cares about you! And then she leaves. Episode 9, Protests. This is it's a good one. Like, in this one, apparently there are protests happening around the island, and the Little Western isn't having it well. Wendell and William are complaining. Toad is not having a good time, the poor brakeman, and Joey is investigating. Wendell is probably one of the best things. We should have gotten more Wendell focus and William in season 5 of the series, which we didn't, which it's nice that we got at least one episode, so I can praise it just for that. And the 10th episode and finale for the series, Adjustments. In this episode, Joey is suspended from being the police, and it isn't until they find out the truth that some man, his wife, killed his former wife. Those were some interesting stuff going on there. And at the end, Joey and Lenny both got kicked from the police. I'll leave it at that. Lenny now works at the fire and rescue service with Derek. And Joey got repainted blue and now works on Thomas's branch line. And apparently there's confusion about Thomas's back. Oh, but we don't know that at this point. So that was Stories of Sodor Season 6 and my opinions. Is it better than Season 5? Yes. I just find Season 5 had a bit too much going on. Too much killing, too much plot. One overarching plot can lead to something nice, but overall, not this time. So, I can't wait for Season 7 to come out in a year or so. I'm Zebby, and... Oh, what is this? Thomas is dead? And there's a new Thomas on the Farquhar branch? I need to see this!